Hi, this is Darren from Cloud9 Spain, and nice to have your company. And joining us here, of course, is Sean as well.
Hello there.
Cloud9. Sean, we often do this. We often get a lot of questions coming in, don't we, from clients from all over the world, the UK as well, all about what we could probably see sometimes as silly questions, but actually they're important, aren't they? And we've collated a few, haven't we?
We have.
And we've had some interesting ones, and we're going to share those, aren't we?
Yeah, and some of them might appear obvious, and some of them might have been answered in the past, and some of them you might already know, but I think it's good just to go over them, isn't it? And
yeah,
because those questions do crop up with every client, so at some stage of their process.
Sure. So, why an agent?
Why an agent? I think it's different to buying in your own country, because I think when you're exploring the opportunities of buying here in Spain, you need someone to guide you about the areas, about the process, and about the properties, obviously. And I think it's just great to be able to rely on an agent that you get to know and get to trust, who can hold your hand through the process. And I don't mean that to sound patronising, but I think it is important when you're investing what is largely a big sum of money in a foreign country. I think it's pretty essential. If I was buying in the UK now, for instance, I would definitely be using an agent rather than trying to do it all myself.
Sure. Now, we often talk, a lot of people come out and see us, don't they? And they say, I'm with this agent, that agent, I've got several agents, they're all going to be taking me around. Why is that different in Spain? Tell us the differences there.
I think because most people start their research online, they tend to see a property they like the look of, and they don't really have any loyalty to a particular company. So they'll just click an inquiry button, and before you know it, you've made 20 inquiries to 20 different agents. What helps here is that we work on what's called an MLS, which is a multi-listing system, which means that all agents, if they're good, all agents should have access to all the stock, which should mean for you as a client, as a buyer, potential buyer, you should have whole of market choice. So what I always say to clients is, look, don't confuse the issue here. Don't go and have 5 or 6 different agents take you out on tour, because what tends to happen then is they work to another agenda, and they'll find out what you've seen with another agent and tell you, oh, that's rubbish, go and see this, go and see that. So my advice to people is to get a good relationship in place with 1, maybe 2 agents, but certainly 1 that you use as your guiding light. Someone who you can form a good relationship with, who understand all your motivations for purchase, who understand your family dynamics, so that they can really guide you and help you as much as they can. If they know that you're out with 10 different agents, they're not going to put in the same amount of work and effort, because they're not sure they're going to get any reward. So that would be, for me, the natural course of action.
Yeah. So 1 agent for also listing as well, would you say? So if you've got somewhere to sell, pick 1 agent.
Yeah, I mean, that's a slightly different conversation, because what I would do is I would go online and I would do a search for properties for sale in whatever area it is that you have a property, see who comes up, because that's how most potential buyers will begin their search. So if your agent of choice is there, number 1 or number 2 on Google, then, okay, they have a presence in the market, in the online market where the research starts. And what I would also do is to make sure that the agent that you use, whether it's for buying or whether it's for selling, has full knowledge of the locations. So how long have they been in business? Which areas do they cover? Have they got access to all the stock? All those pretty basic fundamental questions. That's what you should be asking.
Good stuff. As always, keep those questions coming in. We always like to hear, even if they're silly, Sean. It doesn't matter, does it?
The sillier the better.
The sillier the better. And you can always get in touch via the usual socials, and we'd love to hear from you. So have you got any questions? Keep watching as well for more of the bite-sized sessions, because there'll be more questions answered very soon.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Right.
Rolling, roll hide.